This is Justyn Vicky, a bodybuilder, Instagrammer, and fitness coach from Bali, Indonesia, who unfortunately passed away after breaking his neck in an unfortunate squatting accident. This is an incident which happened sometime in 2023. I generally avoid making videos like these involving people's misfortunes, but there is such a lot to unpack in this, which may help you keep you safe while you squat. Out of due respect, I am going to keep this video somber. Justyn's unfortunate demise came while squatting 210 kilos. The bar slipped and ended breaking his neck. One need not be squatting such a heavy weight to have an injury like this. Something as light as a 60 kg barbell could be just as deadly. So let's analyze what really happened. Obviously, we can always blame the trainer for not being in position to help control the weight, or the fact that he was not using safety pins. But I believe things are just a little bit deeper and a lot has happened even before he stepped in the gym on that fateful day. Let's take a look at some of his lifts in the weeks preceding. Remember, this guy is quite an unit. Over here, he's squatting what looks like 180 kilos. Nice setup, slowed down, perfect squat form. But you can see he is at his limits. Fast forward to 7 weeks from disaster date. Here squatting on his own 160 kilos. Nice setup again, neutral spine, tight at the bottom, a struggle back up, just a touch of instability. But do note that he's using the safety pins here. Fast forward to 3 weeks from disaster. Here he's squatting what looks like 170 kilos. I believe he has now started training for a powerlifting meet. Cannot confirm it, but the way his training is progressing, it sure does seem like so. I want you to note a drastic change of form here. Did you notice that little bit of drop? It seems like he's intentionally trying to use that spring back action of the squat at the bottom. However, he seems like he's losing some power. And over here, he's squatting 190 for 3. Nice setup, heavy weight, and then that drop at the bottom. That drop looks a little bit too intentional to me. This is when the muscles of the quads and the glutes change from the intense stretch to a contraction. Over here, however, I feel it is a little bit exaggerated. It may not be evident from the angles, but I feel deep down there might be a little bit of butt wink. When there is butt wink, one tends to lose a lot of power at the bottom of the lift and that ability to brace. This is 1 week from disaster. 170 for reps, then 190 for a single, followed by 200 for a single. And you can see evidently when he's training with this coach, he's not using safety pins. And this is on that fateful day. Really heavy weight, which is evident from the setup. That spring action at the bottom loses all power, loses the ability to brace. The coach loses control and the bar is on his neck and ends up breaking it. He was rushed to surgery but never made it out of the hospital. So the point I'm trying to make, was he creating progression a little bit too fast? He jumped from a 200 kilo single in a week to a 210 kilo single. Wasn't that time frame for an already developed lifter a little bit too short? Was he rushing his progression? Or maybe he wanted to put some Instagram content? Instagrammers these days are quite pressurized to put new content on a daily basis. Or is it that his ego got into the way? This unfortunate incident has some key lessons we can learn even if we do not lift heavy. Pick a weight that you can easily handle and make small increments over time. Always practice safe reps, especially with the squat and deadlift. Make it your default habit to use the pins in your squat rack. If you are not confident, have a spotter holding you under your chest. Pulling you up from under your chest is going to keep your chest from collapsing. And if the weight is really heavy, it won't hurt if you have a couple of buddies on either side of the squat rack to assist just in case. Keep your ego out of the weight room. Justyn Vicky himself once said, and I quote, "The only lift that can kill you in the weight room is the squat."